Everybody comes in your grandmother. 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 And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup from my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people. Everybody comes in, your grandmother, your father, your mother, your brother, going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know. Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ. We are going to restore honor to our government. In my administration, I'm going to enforce all laws concerning the protection of classified information. No one will be above the law.
Hello, users, and welcome to another episodic installation of the goddamn show. This is the goddamn show, and there's a show going on, today. And today there will be a program, and the program will, it will be here, and, doing a show today. Today is the 14. It is the 14 of 9. It is the 14 of 9 for the show today. This is the Above It All 1682, I think, if I counted correctly. Someone verify that for me. If you'd like. We got a show today going on today on the program. We got some Max the dog. Hi Max. So Max the dog. He's a dog. And I love him. But more importantly, there's a show. There's a show going on today. And so, hello Hook, hello Donald James, hello Fun, hello Abner, hello Brooke, hello Johnny Too Late, hello Squirrel, hello Mila, and everyone else who requires me to scroll up if I want to read their usernames. Hello folks, we got a show going on. So, I'm gonna let everyone in on a little secret. I kind of high right now. I did some marijuana yesterday, and needless to say, so just bear with me. We all have days where we're just not at our best. We all have days where we're just struggling to get by, and King Charles also was struggling to get by in this viral video from yesterday or the day before, I don't know, yesterday. This is King Charles getting mad as hell and having a pen explode ink all over him. Let's watch.
I just had to put, is it September the 12th?
13, sir.
Oh God, in the wrong date. 13?
Yes, sir.
You saw the 12th earlier.
Where did I put the 12th? I was something 10th. Oh God, I hate this.
Oh look, it's going everywhere. So nobody got shot.
Where is the man?
Oh look, it's everywhere.
Oh, there it is. Bloody thing. What are they doing? Everyone's stinking.
And then the cough. All right, so there you go, King Charles. Not going so well for King Charles. But that's pretty funny. A little bit of some comic relief, I think, just a little bit. But anyway, so similarly to King Charles, I am also not at my best today. I'm a little high, so hopefully I don't have any pens explode all over me while forgetting what day it is. But I find that to be very enjoyable. Anyway, so King Charles, folks. What's on my shirt today? The same thing that was on the shirt yesterday, because I haven't changed my clothes, because I'm a piece of shit. I look fresh. I also looked fresh yesterday, because I'm wearing the same exact outfit. King Charles has some really thick fucking fingers. Like, he's got some mutations going on. Did mushrooms last night and got laid. Didn't sleep much. That sounds good to me. We got Sinkwell in the chat. We got About to Sleep Triple Z in the chat. Who else is it? Glam Girl Addle in the chat. We got lots of chatters, lots of users. There's lots of chatter in the users, for the users. There's chatter. And so there you go. And so I got to drink some coffee. Hold the phone here. All right, I drank some coffee. And so there you go. Charles' fingers are like... Look, first of all, let's call him Charlie. King Charlie? Charlie's fingers are like that because his hands have no muscles because he doesn't do anything for himself. That's probably true. But, yeah, let's call him King Charlie. Anyway, King Goddamn Charlie. King Chuck. No, Chuck's too hip. That's the thing. Chuck is too cool. Like, I think of Chuck, I'm thinking, like, this is what I think of Chuck, right? Like, this is someone who's gonna be a Chuck. Hey, yo, I'm Chuck here. How's it going? My name's Chuck. That's not the king. He's not Chuck. Okay, fuck him. He's Charlie. Okay. Anyway, do I look disheveled? I think I look disheveled. Do I? I feel like I'm disheveled. Anyway, this is a new show. This is a new show. This is the Above It All new show. This is the new, a new show in the news show. With news as in, like, but this is new. Anyway, so this is a new show. I don't know what day it is. Oh, today's Wednesday. Yeah. Okay. Today is Wednesday. And Wednesday is a day on the calendar, but more importantly, Wednesday is a way of life for the users. That's right, folks. We've got a new episodic installation of the Cooking with the Bitch show, coming up pretty soon here. Cooking with the Bitch. And, this is the, Cooking with the Bitch show. It will be, premiering in 74 minutes. All I gotta do is survive for another 74 minutes here. Anyway, 74 minutes, we're doing some brown rice, beans with a bunch of vegetables. So, lots of good stuff going to be on this episodic installation of Cooking with the Goddamn. And so, definitely, watch the show. I mean, it's a show. It exists. And it's going to be live it's not going to be live because I think I recorded this like 2 weeks ago. But anyway, it's going to be premiering in 74 minutes, 73 minutes. And there you go. So that's happening. But in other news, we've got some other news here that's really important news. I mean, this is some crazy fucking shit. This is some crazy shit, y'all. It's crazy, right? All right. Okay. All right. And Donald Trump, the Orange Man, is at it again, very upset. Recently, apparently Steve Bannon has said that 35 Trump guys got raided by the FBI. And so, That happened apparently. But also, apparently the MyPillow guy was not among the 35 because the MyPillow guy was raided. In fact, they pulled him over at a Hardee's, apparently, and Trump is not okay with this. So this is from thedailybeast.com. Trump throws epic tantrum over FBI's MyPillow guy raid. Quote, "The majesty in the United States is gone," the former president declared after the seizure at a Hardee's in Minnesota. So this is some crazy shit. What is Hardee's? Is that the one with the star on it? I don't know. Anyway, Donald Trump had a meltdown on Truth Social late Tuesday after MyPillow executive Mike Lindell said his cell phone had been confiscated by the feds while he was dining out at a Hardee's restaurant. I love the idea that, like, this guy's like a fucking CEO multimillionaire and he eats at Hardee's. Like, oh, the man in the people, you know? Also, I love the idea that he had his cell phone taken from him in public. I think that's hilarious. I mean, there's so much to this story that's great. And then also, how did Donald Trump find out about this? How did Mike Lindell call him without his cell phone? Right? Anyway. Breaking news. Mike Lindell, the pillow guy, was just raided by the FBI. We are now officially living in a weaponized police state. This is the best part. Okay. All right. The same guy who ordered an assassination on live television 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Probably almost exactly 2 years ago. I think this was like September or October maybe. Maybe it was August. But 2 years ago, Donald Trump went on television and ordered an assassination of a U.S. citizen. His name was Michael Ryanel. A U.S. Marshal Task Force went out there, illegally executed him, right? Lied about it. Every one of the officers on duty that day had a different version of the story that contradicted every witness that all had the same version of the story, right? Then Donald Trump got back on television to praise the assassination, right? Unconstitutional assassination of a U.S. citizen. So this is the same guy 2 years ago ordering police forces to assassinate random people unconstitutionally. Now, all of a sudden, now we live in a police state. Oh, really? Oh, I had no idea. Okay. Damn. Now, okay, I guess we live in a police state. Whoa. He went on to declare, "Our country is a laughingstock all over the world." That's true. That part, I agree with Donald Trump on that one. The orange man, maybe his head is on, right? "The majesty of the United States is gone." Actually, I believe the majesty of the United Kingdom is gone. But, minor correction there. "Can't let this happen. Take back America." Trump's borderline hysterical reaction to the news appeared to mirror that of Lindell himself, who claimed on Facebook that he'd been surrounded by FBI agents who took away his livelihood by confiscating his phone. I thought his livelihood was the pillow business. Unless he's back in the drug dealing business, and that's why he needs his cell phone so badly. The phone was reportedly seized in connection with a 2021 breach of voting machines in Mesa County, Colorado, allegedly carried out by Tina Peters, the county clerk now facing state felony charges for the alleged tampering. Peters is accused of leaking sensitive voting machine data that subsequently was presented at Lindell's August 2021 Cyber Symposium. Remember that one? Which she also attended. The FBI Denver field office confirmed that its agents had executed a search warrant at the location where Lindell said the raid took place, but gave no further details. So, anyway, that's hilarious. A lot of people are saying that Donald Trump might actually he might actually be taken down for this. That's what a lot of people, many people are saying. Many people, they tell me, they come over to me, Andrea, they say, he's going down. The orange man is no more. That's what they tell me. And so personally, I'm not convinced. But either way, this is fun to watch. And so, just take the small wins, enjoy the ride, whatever the destination ends up being. Understand, if you're watching this video, there is a good chance you're going to outlive Donald Trump anyway. So, take solace in that. But either way, there you go. And that's it. That's all I got. Oh. Oh. Check this out. Hey, Maxie. Check it out. Maxie. Uppy, uppy, uppy. Uppy, Max. Come on, uppy. What are you doing? What are you doing? Come on. You gotta come uppy, Max. Come on, uppy. You got leaves on this. If you want it, it's right there. It's right here. Take it. Alright. Well, if you don't want it, I'll take it. Oh, now you want it. Now you want it. Okay. Well, it's right here. It's just, yeah. My hands are tied. Take it. Oh. He just dropped it. And there he goes. Max the dog, folks. Max the dog. Can I get some Max the dog faces in the chat? Can I get some goddamn Max the dog? Can he catch? Yeah, I gotta clip that. That was great. It's Max the dog. What kind of dog food do you feed Max? Not the best dog food. But, he gets carrots. He gets some table food. He likes carrots. Like baby carrots, he catches those fuckers in midair. It's great. So good. We got a show going on today. Play the laugh track for Max the dog. It's too late. It's too late. The era of the Max dog is over. I give Max like fucking... We have these treats that are like biscuits or whatever. And, but they're like super small. And so I give him like fucking... I give him a lot. So, on a daily basis. Like, just, every time I'm walking through the kitchen, fuck it. Fuck it. But he was on exercise restriction that he came off of. So, now I'm not as concerned about weight gain anymore. 63 minutes, folks. 63 minutes. I mean, it's an app. I don't know what else to tell you. Speaking of apps. Breaking news! Queen Elizabeth II's coffin has arrived. Breaking news! The Queen's coffin is on the move. What the fuck? Can't this fucking bitch die already? Oh, wait, no, this is an article about... Lindsey Graham proposes 15-week abortion ban, dividing Republicans ahead of the midterm elections. So there's a lot of people have a lot to say about this one. And personally, I think it's pretty funny. So as soon as Roe v. Wade was overturned, Republicans started talking about, oh, we're going to do this if we win in the midterms. We're going to have a national abortion ban. And like Mike Pence was going out there going like, oh yeah, we're going to ban abortion for everybody. States' rights. We don't give a fuck about states' rights, like. And then they realize, oh shit, that's not popular. What's more popular is the states' rights argument. States' rights. States' rights. We got to return it to the states because, states' rights. So let's watch Lindsey Graham, literally just like 2 months ago, saying some shit. So
that made same-sex marriage the law of the land nationally should be overturned?
No, I am saying that I don't think it's going to be overturned.
Nor should it be?
Well, that'd be up to the court. The reasoning, I think, could be attacked, but the point I'm trying to make is I've been consistent. I think states should decide the issue of marriage and states should decide the issue of abortion. I have respect for South Carolina. South Carolina voters here, I trust, to define marriage and to deal with the issue of abortion, not 9 people on the court. That's my view. So
anyway, that's interesting. That was a month ago. I was like literally just a month ago. But some people, I've read this take in a couple places. Some people are saying that Lindsey Graham is trying to destroy the GOP here. Because the GOP knows that its position is untenable and knows it's unpopular. That's why it does the whole states' rights. Oh, it's actually pro-democracy, states' rights. Got to return to the states. The gerrymandered states where that we can have disproportionately black people in our population, but our state legislature is 98% white. Don't know how that happens. States' rights. So anyway, so. People are saying that he's purposefully, throwing the atomic bomb into the GOP. Personally, I'm a little skeptical of this, but let's read more of this garbage. Introduced on Tuesday, a bill that would ban abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy, the most significant proposal by Republicans in Congress to curtail the procedure since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade 3 months ago. Senate Democratic candidates immediately tried to link their Republican opponents to Graham's bill, but the South Carolina Republican defended his legislation as a bulwark against late-term abortions. Late-term abortions? Oh yeah, late-term. I'm sick of this. First of all, I just, to be very clear so anyone watching this knows my position, I am pro-abortion. I am not pro-choice. I am pro-abortion, okay? If you want to have an abortion, you should be able to have an abortion whenever the fuck you want, right? I don't give a fuck what some stupid jackass, childless fucking freak has to say about this, right? I don't give a shit, right? Especially if your health is at risk. Why the fuck, imagine this, right? Your health is at risk, you're gonna die. And instead of fucking surviving, right? Instead of oh, I'm gonna live, you have to get into a debate with your doctor and convince your doctor that it's worth risking going to jail and having to deal with 3 years of court battles to save your life. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want anyone to deal with that. So I'm pro-abortion, right? It's just really that simple. Senate Democratic candidate, I already read that. Quote, I think Democrats made a huge mistake in introducing legislation in Washington that would basically allow abortion up to the moment of birth, Graham told CNN. Now we have an alternative to that. The court's decision in June set off a nationwide scramble to define the legal rights to an abortion after it found nearly 50 years ago a constitutional right to it. In May, the Senate failed to advance a Democratic bill establishing a federal right to terminate a pregnancy until fetal viability, or later if there's a risk to the pregnant patient's life or health. Now again, Democrats on this one are too conservative. I don't give a fuck, right? Because who defines, oh, I'm at risk. I'm at risk. How do you define that? How do you verify that? Right, let's say you provide someone an abortion, they survive, right? Their life was in jeopardy. You give them the health care, then they live. How do you prove that they would have died? Without outlining clearly how you can prove these things, it's just vague nonsense. It's going to result in years and years of legal battles. And these people don't want to fucking deal with that shit. So I say this. I say Democrats, and I say the logical choice is to allow abortion all the time. Now, again, if it's possible to, rip that baby out, throw them in a tube, and then they can finish growing, I'm all in. I am down to invest in baby tube technology. I am down to invest in these machines that can, like, act as a womb, from like 8 weeks onward or whatever. I'm down. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's go into the sci-fi world. I don't know if Republicans would say the same thing. But again, if someone gets pregnant and let's say they have no ability to get an abortion for the first like 2 months, 3 months, let's say, whatever something is preventing them from doing so, doesn't matter. It's not your fucking business. It's their private fucking healthcare concerns, right? So anyway, let's say they want to get that abortion, they should be allowed to do so. It's their fucking body, right? This idea that Republicans want to control other people's bodies is insane to me. It's really, it's crazy shit, right? It's again, they just want to reinstitute slavery in whatever small ways that they can. Senate Republicans were slow on Tuesday to embrace Graham's plan. I'll look at it, said Florida Senator Rick Scott, who chairs the Senate GOP campaign committee. Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson, who is in a tough re-election race, would not directly answer when asked if he backs Graham's bill. Johnson said abortion laws should be decided by way of the people in the 50 states. Like, your campaign is not going well when you bust out some we the people ass shit. The Supreme Court's decision resurrected Wisconsin's abortion ban, which was passed in 1849. 1849. We the people should decide. Oh, really? Really? Okay, we the people should decide? Meanwhile, a law from 1849, remind me, in the category that would be encompassed by we the people, was anyone alive in 1849 who's still alive right now? Right? No. South Dakota Senator John Thune, the GOP whip, defended the new legislation, saying it will give GOP candidates a place to land as they get hammered by Democrats on the issue. He said most Republicans favor abortion restrictions, not an outright ban. Thune said CNN he supported the 15-week ban. Quote, I would expect there to be pretty good support for that among, pro-life Republicans, maybe some pro-life Democrats. These people live in a fucking fantasy world, man. These motherfuckers are crazy. I also think that because Democrats have tried to convert this into a one-sided argument that represents their singular view of the world, which is all Republicans are for an outright ban, Thune added. I think this changes that narrative and gives candidates a place to be for something that reflects their views and doesn't fit the Democrat narrative. What? What? You know what I mean? It's just like, what are these people talking about? We're talking about real, living creatures. We're talking about human fucking beings here, right? And these people are just like, should people be slaves to the state after 15 weeks? Should they be a slave to the state? Should it be 20 weeks they're a slave to the state? When do we decide that anyone with a uterus becomes a slave? At what point do they become a slave? At what point are they a free-thinking human being? At what point do they have constitutional protections? At what point do they not have constitutional protections? It's like, my friend, what the fuck? You are on drugs. You are on drugs. Why are we discussing slavery? What is slavery? What is the definition of the 13th Amendment for slavery? Forced labor. I don't know about you, but if someone is forcing you into, and what do we call when someone's about to give birth? We call it labor. If someone is forcing you into labor, sounds a lot like forced labor, sounds a lot like a violation of the 13th Amendment. I don't know. Maybe I'm just reading a little bit, I don't know, the text of the Constitution. Maybe they meant something else when they said forced labor. I don't know. You gotta get fucking Scalia's ghost on this shit. What was forced labor? What was forced labor really mean? By the way, again, of course, prisons don't count as written in the 13th Amendment because, whoa, right? Texas Senator John Cornyn, a member of the GOP leadership, had a different view of Graham's bill. I think there are going to be some differences of opinion, said Cornyn. My preference is to have each state handle those issues. Asked why he thought Graham put forward the legislation, Cornyn responded, ask Senator Graham. Just ask him. Why are you asking me? Why are you asking me? Get him on the TV. I don't want to be here anymore. I got, we the people. I got to get the hell out of here. North Carolina Senator Thom Tillis. What kind of name is Thom, by the way? This motherfucker's going to tell you his name is pronounced Tom? Okay, sure, buddy. Thom Tillis said he wanted to focus on inflation. The consumer price index jumped 8.3% from August. Oh, that's just CNN's fucking editorial. Quote, that's what we ought to be focusing on, Tillis said. Wyoming Senator John Barrasso, a third GOP member of leadership, said he supported Graham's previous anti-abortion proposals, but would not answer directly. Anyway, so there you go. You can read more of this. But yeah, Republicans are scrambling about it. Personally, I like the conspiracy that Lindsey Graham is kind of like trying to blow up the Republican Party with this one. But I doubt it. I think it's more likely that Lindsey Graham is just an idiot. I think that that's the more likely scenario here. But either way, it's pretty entertaining. I enjoy it. Except, wait, these people are senators, and they're trying to legislate slavery, right? So, wait, that's actually really bad. So, as funny as it is, it's also really fucking bad. And so, there you go. I don't know what else I need to say about that, but... The accents. Thank you for the appreciation of my accentual fortitude. We got a show going on today. Today is, well, it's a day. I should say that much. Today is, in fact, a day. Yesterday I was dealing with some like back pain issue yesterday, but it's not there anymore, so I'm pretty thankful for that. I had a little bit of a mental health crisis last night because I was dealing with back pain. I don't know, I pulled a muscle. I don't know what the hell happened to me. But anyway, so I was dealing with a little bit of a crisis, and I decided to take some medicinal marijuana for medical purposes, because I was in pain. So I was like, oh, well, and so I'm still really high, needless to say, and I'm not in pain. So, I mean, this is like, I was in pain and high last night. Not bad, right? Not bad. But now I am not in pain and still high. So this is pretty good. I'm just jamming right now. So we got a show going on. What the hell is that Max dog? Maxie, where are you? Alright, he's roaming. The motherfucker's roaming. Oh, wait. That's a good doggy. Where the fuck is my, like, air conditioning remote? Hold on, I'm fucking sweaty. I'm sweaty as hell. Where is this fucking thing? Oh, here it is. Let me drink your sweat, queen. I mean, I'm willing. I'm willing to send you sweat in the mail if that's something you're interested in. But put up the money, and then we'll talk. $17 below? I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. That would be cold as hell. What do you think? I live in the Arctic? You think I live in a goddamn Arctic snow base? 17 below? Jesus, Lord have mercy. My goodness. My goodness. I never said that. I never said that. I said it was 17 degrees. You said it's negative 17? I never said 17 below. Go rewind the tape. Watch the tape. I said it was 17. I don't know where you thought, oh, 17 below. But what? What? Am I still offering the guff experience? Why, Fritz, are you lonely? $17's not cold. It's chilly. It's not cold. What's the weather right now? Right now it's 20. It's going to be 26 later. Oof. Oof. I'm going to mow the lawn and I'm going to sweat my fucking butt off. Anyway, let's look for some news here. It's a news show after all. It is a news show after all. A package deal poly buff goof combo. That's not bad, actually. 2 for the price of 1.5. I'm down. A mowing with the bitch. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. All right, so while we're talking about abortion, I guess. So again, I want to remind everybody, Republicans, so-called Republican states in this country, want to force anyone who's pregnant to become a slave after a certain amount of time, whether it be 15 weeks, 8 weeks, 6 weeks, 24 weeks, whatever it is. Whatever the week threshold is, you become a slave. The government tells you what you're allowed to do, what you're not allowed to do. The government says you have to do this or that or whatever. You can't get health care. You're not allowed to, do all this kind of stuff. You just become an object owned by the U.S. government or whatever local state that is. Abortion laws are, abortion restrictions, I should say. And the only abortion law that is even worth a damn is abortions are okay all the time. Let's go. That's it. There's no other thing. I don't care if, what about 24 weeks? What about 27 weeks? Fetal viability. Who defines this stuff? Who defines this stuff? Come on now. Anyway. But how do these abortion bans actually affect people? Well, here's the story. Louisiana woman carrying a skull-less fetus forced to travel to New York for an abortion. An expectant Louisiana woman who is carrying a skull-less fetus that would die within a short time from birth ultimately traveled 1,400 miles to New York City to terminate her pregnancy after her local hospital denied her an abortion amid uncertainty over the procedure's legality. Nancy Davis, 36, told The Guardian that she had her pregnancy terminated on 1 September after traveling from her hometown of Baton Rouge to a clinic in Manhattan whose staff had agreed to complete the procedure. Davis's trek was necessary because Louisiana has outlawed abortion with very few exceptions after the U.S. Supreme Court's decision in June to eliminate federal abortion rights, which were established by its 1973 Roe v. Wade ruling. New York is among the states where abortion remains legal. Davis was about 10 weeks pregnant in late July when an ultrasound at a woman's hospital in Baton Rouge, Louisiana's capital, showed that her fetus was missing the top of its skull, a rare but fatal condition known as acrania that kills babies within days and sometimes minutes of birth. Louisiana's abortion ban contains a general exception for fetuses that cannot survive outside the mother's womb, and the law's author, State Senator Katrina Jackson, has insisted that Davis could have legally obtained an abortion without having to go across the country. But Louisiana's list of conditions justifying an exemption from the state's abortion ban did not explicitly include acrania. So again, what happens here is the doctor has to say, is it worth it that I have to go to court for 2, maybe 3, sometimes 4 or 5 years if it gets appealed all the way up the chain? Is it worth going to court for 2, 3 years to save this woman's life? Right? And the doctor is going to say no. Now, you might find a doctor who's willing to do that. But most doctors are going to say no. They're going to tell you, just go to New York, go to wherever, and they're going to do what they can. But again, this is why the exemptions for rape, incest, life of the mother, life of the fetus, fetal viability, like all of it means nothing. It means fucking nothing. It's a bunch of vague nonsense And you bet your sweet ass motherfucking bippy that if this abortion were done in Baton Rouge, that doctor would be on trial. A prosecutor's going to try to make their name, get in the headlines. Oh, look at this local DA who's going to, and then it's just going to be years and years of legal battles. It's going to destroy everyone involved's life. Basically, I would have to bury my baby, Davis has previously said, after Davis spoke out in the media about her ordeal. More than 1,000 people donated nearly $40,000 to an online GoFundMe campaign for Davis to travel to a state where it was certain that she could legally get an abortion. She had initially planned to go to North Carolina, but during a brief telephone conversation on Tuesday, she said she ended up going to a Planned Parenthood facility in Manhattan. Davis is only one member of a group of women or girls who have been forced to take gut-wrenching actions in the aftermath of the elimination of nationwide abortion rights. A Florida court recently blocked a pregnant 16-year-old girl from having an abortion, deeming her too immature. Motherfucker. Too immature to decide whether she should have an abortion. Too immature to decide to have an abortion. You're not too immature to have a kid. Too immature to have an abortion. Very mature to have a child. That's the world we live in. Meanwhile, earlier in the summer, a 10-year-old Ohio girl who was raped and impregnated had to travel to neighboring Indiana to terminate her pregnancy because her state had banned most abortions. Most abortions are set to become illegal in Indiana as of Thursday. Davis appeared outside of Louisiana's Capitol building in late August alongside civil rights attorney Ben Crump and called on the state's lawmakers to at least clarify the wording of their abortion ban, if not repeal it entirely, so that no one else would have to endure what she has. Crump said Davis, who was raising a daughter and 2 stepchildren with her partner, suffered, quote, unspeakable pain, emotional damage, and physical risk because of a poorly worded law. Lawmakers, Crump added, replaced care with confusion, privacy with politics, and options with ideology. For her part, Davis said, this was not fair to me, and it should not happen to any other woman. So, there you go. Good country. We got a really good country going on here. The US of A. Love it. I love it. Isn't that a great country? Isn't this like a wonderful fucking country that we live in? Right? Like, isn't that great? Like, yeah. You have to get a GoFundMe campaign. And, you know, we read a lot of these stories of people that successfully get a GoFundMe and travel somewhere for healthcare. What about the people that get like $20 in their GoFundMe? And they're fucked. Right? Not everyone can get $40K in a GoFundMe. Some people get $40 in a GoFundMe. Some people get $200. Which is great in the short term. You know, maybe it'll help with some food or something, right? But it's not going to help you get what you need. It's, you know, again, it's a crazy fucking country. We live in a fucking Looney Tunes country. Crazy ass shit. Crazy ass shit. Now, again, I say this sincerely. Anybody that and I say this like with complete 100%, right? Anyone that is in favor of any abortion restriction is a crazy psychopath, and we need to get rid of these people out of our society, whether that be throw them into insane asylums, straitjackets for all of them, throw them off to an island somewhere, you know, like, you know, whether, you know, deport them, I don't care, right? If you are against providing only certain people with healthcare, guess what? Fuck you, get the fuck out. That's how I feel. These Republicans need to fuck the fuck off. It's that simple. So, there you go. Fuck them. But if that's not crazy enough for you, if you want to up the stakes on how horrible the United States of America is, the United States of America is a disgusting country, right? Living here I am just like being around these people in this country does a number on everyone's mental health, including mine. But this country is not just a country of stupid motherfuckers. It's a country of barbaric, uncivilized savages. And some of them call themselves judges. Some of them call themselves lawyers. And some of those people do this. Iowa teen who killed rapist sentenced, ordered to pay $150,000 to the family of the rapist. A teenage human trafficking victim who was initially charged with first-degree murder after she stabbed her accused rapist to death was sentenced Tuesday in an Iowa court to 5 years of closely supervised probation and ordered to pay $150,000 in restitution to the man's family. You know what that's called? Slavery. That's what that's called. This person will not be able to pay that amount of money without a GoFundMe or something else like that, right? So what they want is this person who is 17. 17! Now again, what does minimum wage pay you in this country? Like what, $20,000, $30,000 a year? That is literally like 5 to 10 years. Maybe even longer, depending on, you know, how high rent prices become in the future. Right? She's fucked. Unless she can get a GoFundMe going on. Which I'm sure something like that will happen. But I mean, like, Jesus fucking Christ. And it gets worse. You might be thinking, oh, wow, this is really bad. The same country, by the way, that says that Kyle Rittenhouse is an American hero for buying a gun illegally and going to a protest and killing people for fun and entertainment. Oh, that was self-defense. Same country. Same country. Piper Lewis, 17, was sentenced Tuesday after she pleaded last year to involuntary manslaughter and willful injury in the June 2020 killing of 37-year-old Zachary Brooks of Des Moines. So this was 2 years ago. They were 15 at the time. 15. Both charges were punishable by up to 10 years in prison. Polk County District Judge David M. Porter on Tuesday deferred those prison sentences, meaning that if Lewis violates any portion of her probation, she could be sent to prison to serve that 20-year term. As for being required to pay the estate of her rapist, the court, quote, the court is presented with no other option. Really, no other option. Self-defense? Nah. They have no other option, Porter said, noting the restitution is mandatory under Iowa law that has been upheld by the Iowa Supreme Court. Lewis was 15 when she stabbed Brooks more than 30 times in a Des Moines apartment. Officials have said Lewis was a runaway who was seeking to escape an abusive life with her adopted mother and was sleeping in the hallways of a Des Moines apartment building when a 28-year-old man took her in before forcibly trafficking her to other men for sex. Lewis said one of those men was Brooks and that he had raped her multiple times in the weeks before his death. She recounted being forced at knife point by the 28-year-old to go with Brooks to his apartment for sex. She told officials that after Brooks had raped her yet again, she grabbed a knife from his bedside table and stabbed Brooks in a fit of rage. Police and prosecutors have not disputed that Lewis was sexually assaulted and trafficked, but prosecutors have argued that Brooks was asleep at the time and he was stabbed and not an immediate danger to Lewis. How about this? You are a 15-year-old child who has been raped several times, probably malnourished, probably not being fed properly, right? Probably malnourished. And let's say you try to escape, and let's say they wake up hearing your footsteps or hearing you open a door, and then they decide to kill you. How is that not an immediate threat? Like, let's be honest. If someone has you locked in a cage And if they wake up, they will fuck you up. That's an immediate fucking threat. I don't know, man. These people are insane. Prosecutors in this sense. And they think they're doing we're doing a great job. Law and order. Law and order. Iowa is not among the dozens of states that have so-called safe harbor law that gives trafficking victims at least some level of criminal immunity. Lewis, who earned her GED while being held in juvenile detention, acknowledged in a statement prior to her sentencing that she struggled with the structure of her detention, including why I was treated like fragile glass or wasn't allowed to communicate with her friends or family. Quote, my spirit has been burned, but still glows through the flames, she read from a statement she had prepared. Hear me roar, see me glow, and watch me grow. I am a survivor, she added. The Associated Press does not typically name victims of sexual assault, but Lewis agreed to have her name used previously in stories about her case. Prosecutors took issue with Lewis calling herself a victim in the case and said she failed to take responsibility for stabbing Brooks and, quote, leaving his kids without a father. Now again, if only Lewis was a white police officer. You're a white police officer, you can kill as many black fathers as you want. 98% of the time, cops don't get charged when they murder someone. You're a white cop? Fuck it. Let's go on a murder spree. Let's kill 30, 40, 50 black fathers and you're good to go. No charges, no court, maybe you get a paid vacation. You're a sexual trafficking victim who has been held in captivity for weeks and raped over and over and over again. You have less rights than a white police officer. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that nuts? That's crazy shit. That is crazy fucking shit. That is fucking crazy shit. The next 5 years of your life will be full of rules you disagree with, I'm sure of it, Porter said. He later added, this is the judge. This is the second chance that you've asked for. You don't get a third. You know, again, I talk about this a lot in a facetious way. People that make me rethink my position on the death penalty. But reading this, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe the people that do like the death penalty, maybe they have some really good logic, right? What the fuck? Imagine you're the judge and you say this shit and you think you're tough but fair. Like, imagine saying this shit. Like, I literally... What the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Wow. To be very clear, I am not calling to injure anybody, especially a judge. But I'm saying that, my God. My God? That is some crazy fucking shit. Carl Schilling, with the Iowa Organization for Victim Assistance, said a bill to create a safe harbor law for trafficking victims passed the Iowa House earlier this year, but stalled in the Senate under concerns from law enforcement groups that it was too broad. Oh, really? Oh, the cops want rape victims to go to jail. Isn't that great? Quote, there was a working group established to iron out the issue, Schilling said. Hopefully it will be taken up next year. Iowa does not, or rather, Iowa does have an affirmative defense law that gives some leeway to victims of crime if the victim committed the violation under compulsion by another's threat of serious injury, provided that the defendant reasonably believes that such injury was imminent. Prosecutors argued Tuesday that Lewis waived that affirmative defense when she pleaded guilty to manslaughter and willful injury. I mean, I don't know. Do I need to provide commentary? Is commentary necessary? Like, but this is the U.S. This is the U.S. of A. We the people, God bless this country, right? The same country, right? In the same political party that says that Kyle Rittenhouse is an American hero is saying that, oh, well, obviously, the rape victim that was held in captivity deserves 20 years of prison or 20 years of debt slavery because she killed someone who, again, held her in captivity for weeks and raped her continuously. That's not self-defense. Kyle Rittenhouse, self-defense, American hero. Rape victim who managed to kill the rapist then escape. Shame on you. 15 years old. 15 years old. What a crazy fucking country. This is crazy shit. Like, and when I tell you this, like, when I tell you Republicans, there's no such thing as a good Republican, this is why. Right? Whatever Republican wants to, like, oh, I don't agree with that, blah, 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 this is what they vote for. When Republicans say, oh, no, I support law enforcement, and they, you know, donate to the Blue Lives Matter groups, this is what those groups do. Police groups stopped a safe harbor law from being passed. The police weighed in and said, no, rape victims deserve to be going to jail. Rape victims deserve to be debt slaves. So this is what I mean. The consequences of your actions. I don't care about intent. To me, intent is meaningless. When your actions result in this fucking shit, your intent, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Oh, I love Law and Order, but I mean, you know, I didn't know that the Law and Order people would be doing. Some crazy shit. And this is why I say there's no such thing as a good Republican. No such thing as a good Republican. None. There's no such thing. They're all bad. Every single Republican, your uncle, your grandpa, your fucking coworker, I don't give a fuck who they are fucking pure evil. They are evil incarnate. And I'm not talking about the religious concept of evil. I'm talking about, like, you know, the American Psycho style of evil, right? Like, these people just kill and murder for entertainment. They ruin people's lives for entertainment. To them, it's entertaining to see rape victims suffer. They read this shit and they go like, yes, oh, that's so juicy. Oh, yeah. Why? Because they're fucking insane. They are fucking insane. There's no other argument. There's no other context you need. They are fucking crazy, psychopathic motherfuckers. 100% of Republicans. Not 99, not 80, not 50-50. 100% of Republicans are fucking serial killer want-to-bes. Now, I say that to be very clear. They want to be serial killers, but a lot of them, let's be honest, they're too inept to get away with it. So what they do is they enact their dark rampage fantasies on other people via law and order, via police, via judges, and state repression and oppression of minorities especially, right? That's how they get their sick fucking jimmies off, because they're crazy motherfuckers. They are crazy. There is no good Republican. There is none. They're all bad. And again, I know a lot of people get triggered. Oh, but my uncle, yeah, my uncle hates black people and wants them to die. But, you know, when you get 3 beers in and you play a game of pool, he's a really fun guy. Yeah, fuck your uncle too, okay? Fuck him and fuck you for defending his ass, okay? I'm sick of these fucking Republicans. I'm sick of Republican voters. I'm sick of these fucking crazy motherfuckers. They are insane and they belong in straitjackets on an island somewhere far away from the rest of us. So, there you go. Oh, it's 11:05. Do y'all know what that means? Cooking with the bitch. 24 minutes? 24 minutes cooking with the bitch. 24 minutes! Open this up in another tab. And it's going to be great. Trust me, it's going to be a great time. You're going to love this app. Or maybe you won't. I don't know. Fuck. Alright, so we're going to get into the movie review of the portion of the show. I'm not sure if you like Republicans. Well, I'll be a little bit clearer next time. Alright, so last night, whenever I do a movie review, right, I always, I always like to tell the story, my mindset. So last night, I got high and I got a little drunk. I had some back pain. I don't know why. Maybe I pulled a muscle. I don't know. But anyway, and then I decided, you know what? Halloween's coming up. October's coming up. I'm planning a spooky marathon session. So, let me watch some non-spooky movies before we get in while I still have time. And you know what? I had to finish off a trilogy. And so last night, I watched The Godfather Coda, The Death of Michael Corleone. And so, I watched the recut version at the behest of the letter hack in the chat, who said, if you watch the original, I will murder you. That's what the letter hack said on Twitter. Go look at letter hack's Twitter. He said, if you watch the original version and not the recut, I will literally murder you. That's what he said. So I watched the recut, obviously at gunpoint. And now, so again, I don't know. To me, I don't know the differences between the recut and the original. I've never seen the original, so I can't possibly weigh in on that angle of this. I'm getting into this trilogy a little late, I know. So I'm not doing like a comparative thing. Maybe in the future I'll watch the original cut. I don't know. But anyway, I gotta say, this movie, oops all bangers. Oops all bangers. Every Godfather movie, 10 out of 10. I don't know what to tell you. But it's a good fucking movie. Like, holy shit, man. It was a really good movie. And so, the parts of it that I really enjoyed, first of all, I love, like, the old Michael Corleone. Like, he looks like, because it's like, the movie was shot 16 years after part 2. Right, so Al Pacino's obviously aged up, but then they aged him up hella with the makeup and shit. And so he looks like an old-ass motherfucker. And I thought his acting was incredible. Like, just every scene with him in it is just, again, oops all bangers, right? Oh my god, what a great movie. And then the new character, I think my main critique of this movie was that the new character, like, they kind of just made up a new character out of nowhere. And I don't know, like, someone being a nobody and then turning into, like, the new Don of the Mafia, like, in, like, less than a year. I'm a little skeptical, but you know what? It was such a good movie that I'm okay with it. Like, the skepticism doesn't matter because the movie is so good that it's okay. One thing I liked about this movie is they covered the fact that Michael Corleone got married in Italy in the first movie, and then, like, the wife died in like a week or something, right? And then they just never mentioned it again. In like part 1 and part 2, they never mentioned it again. But in part 3, right, like they mention it because the other wife is like, oh yeah, and I heard you got married in Italy, by the way. And then so I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, the new character, Vincent, I forget the original last name, but he renames himself to Corleone at the end. But anyway, I thought the acting from him was fantastic. I love the scene when he's with that media bitch who I thought was going to be like a recurring character, but then they just kind of throw her away, and I don't know. I love that scene where he's like fucking with the guys who try to kill him in the night. Like, that was super badass. Okay, so now we got to talk about the cousin incest. But is it cousin incest? I don't know. Like, what? Like, is it incest in name only? I don't know, man. Like, okay, so this is like the biggest part of this movie that people wanted me to touch on is the character of Michael's daughter being like so horny for her cousin. Hey, what the? You know what I mean? I don't know, man. That was way too weird for me. I don't know. I was definitely grossed out by that shit. But like, are they technically cousins? I don't think so, right? Like, I don't think they're technically blood related. But like, they're still like familial cousins. It's just bizarre. It's bizarre shit. Like, I don't know. I felt like that was really unnecessary. I felt like the movie would have been a lot better. If that, I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't have been. I don't know. I don't know what was going on there. I love the scene where the commission gets fucking attacked by the helicopters. Like, they're all like, whoa, we're rich now at the commission. And then the helicopter comes in and just fucking, right? That was crazy shit. That was crazy shit. One of my favorite themes of this movie is how, like, in part 2, Michael Corleone is like, he's like, I gotta make the business, get away from the crime. We gotta be legitimate. That's his big thing, right? Is that, like, you know, Vito wanted Michael to always be in a legitimate sense. He didn't want him to get involved in the mafia stuff, right? And then Michael's, like, spending all of his, like, reign trying to become legitimate. And I love the scene, like, just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in. It was so good. And then you got the Michael Corleone, like, diabetes arc, where he's, like, constantly falling over. I need orange juice. Give me some candy. You know, that was entertaining. He's eating too much spaghetti, that motherfucker. And so the name of the movie is The Godfather Coda, The Death of Michael Corleone. And the thing about this, that having that title is so good, because at the end scene, I thought this guy was going to get Abraham Lincoln, right? When the assassins, like, you know, got the gun and he's, like, aiming at him, right? I totally thought he was going to get Lincoln, right? Because it's called The Death of Michael Corleone. I thought maybe he's going to get shot. Maybe someone in his family's going to die too, right? And then, like, then they start walking away, right? And then, like, you know, he gets shot, but wait, he didn't get shot. The bullet missed and hit the daughter, who was just confused. That scene, man, I was losing it. I'm not gonna lie, I was losing it. Because, like, she was confused. She didn't even know what happened. Like, she's just dead now. Right? And then, like, when fucking, you know, Al Pacino is screaming into the, but, like, you know, the screams are, like, not audible. Like, you just see him freaking out, and then the last one, they make it audible. Oh, that was banger. 10 out of 10, man. I'm telling you, these movies, I don't know how I'd never seen it. I've seen bits and pieces of the first two throughout my life, but I'd never watched them all in a single sitting. You know, one of these days I'm gonna, like, you know, do some mushrooms and watch all 3 of them in a row, but that'll be one of these days, not today or yesterday. But anyway, man, these, oops, all bangers. You know, again, like, every single one is a 10 out of 10. I don't know what to tell you. It's all great. Right? But, like, again, the subtitle, The Death of Michael Corleone, makes you think he's going to die at the end. But instead, he just dies of old age. Right? Like, and that's how they get you. That's how they get you. They got me. I'm not going to lie. I got. I was thinking he was going to get shot or assassinated. Nope, his kid dies, and he just dies depressed, alone, and defeated of old age. It's great. I mean, it's great. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It's great. It's great. It's a great movie. The whole Vatican thing, by the way, I don't know much about. Like, I know it was, like, apparently real life events that were used for the basis of this story, where there was, like, like an assassination plot to kill the Pope or something that happened in the early 80s. I looked into it a little bit because I was like, is this real? So, like, you know, the event of the Pope being assassinated in that fashion is real, right? But the characters that play these, like, they're completely fictitious, right? So I like that. I think that's interesting. Yeah, I love that the Vatican and the religious people, right? Like, it's all a front, and they are just as violent as the gangsters. And I love that, because I think religion is garbage. I'm anti-religion, but I love the idea that gangsters use religion as, like, a front, right, to make themselves seem like they're upstanding members of society. But behind the scene, most people in religious communities, they are power-hungry, greedy gangsters, right? And so maybe, and again, they don't need to send helicopters to murder people, you know, like, in real life all the time, but they do the same effect with the way that they kind of try to govern the whole world. It's some crazy shit. But anyway, what a film. I mean, wow. Banger. 10 out of 10. I don't I don't know how it happens. I don't know how you can make so many good ass movies, but they're all just so fucking good. So next time I watch the trilogy, I'll watch the original cut, see what's different. Personally, I didn't find the acting from Sofia Coppola too bad, but I'm under the impression that the recut took some of the really bad stuff out. I'm not sure. I don't know. But anyway, I thought it was a fantastic film. All three movies. I think 1 and 2, I think the pacing of 1 and 2 was a little better, but I think that's really just explained from the fact that 1 and 2 were made back to back, and then the other one was made 16 years later. So, you know, I think they're all really great, but, goddamn. That's all I can say. They didn't take anything out, just move stuff around, which made it a whole different vibe. Okay. Well, I think, like, I don't know, I think the runtime is like 3 or 4 minutes different or some shit. That's what I saw online, but it could be, like, maybe one of them isn't factoring the credits. I don't know. But goddamn. Woof. Anyway, in other news, cooking with the bitch. Cooking with the bitch. Cooking with the goddamn bitch. Are you ready? Because if you're not ready, I need you to get ready. So for the next couple minutes, we'll be doing some Q-Cocks. Questions, comments, or concerns. Post your Q's. And don't forget, post your cocks. And if you got any for me. I have not paid attention to the elections yesterday. I was way too fucked up. So, I don't know anything about it. Did Sofia direct it? Yes, Sofia Coppola directed it at the age of, like, however old she is. Like, 19 or some shit. She directed the whole movie. Beach Bum. I'll look into it. It's on the mental list. But that's my show for today. So. I saw that, like, the Young Turks, like, Cenk and Anna were having, like, some really horrible takes being posted on Twitter yesterday. That I did see. Some just, like, you know, dumpster sludge. Like, I've been swimming in the dumpster for, like, 16 years takes. But I was thinking about maybe weighing in on that a little bit, but who cares? I mean, I will weigh in on it now, because I did bring it up. But, yeah, I think all of their tweets on the subject of prison abolitionism are really bad, really stupid, and they're not engaging in good faith even remotely, in my opinion. Because if they were engaging in good faith, they would invite abolitionists on the show and have a conversation, because I know for a fact they agree on most of the things, right? They're just crying and whinging about the name of something. It's like, it's just a really reactionary branding exercise, right? Like, they just want to brand themselves as not being loony far left or whatever, because in their minds, like, the far left is Jimmy Dore and, like, the far right is, like, Nick Fuentes or something. So in their minds, they don't want to be perceived as being far left or whatever. It's some ultra, like, reactionary branding exercises, and that's fine. You know, they can be stupid on that subject, and I can still appreciate them on other subject. Defund the police is not a stupid slogan. Anyone that says that has been destroyed by reactionary people online. Again, it's not the job of online news commentators to dictate what activists and what people that are actually dealing with the system have to say. It's not their job to talk down to activists. It's not their job to talk down to people that are oppressed. It's not their job to talk down to people that actually have to live with the consequences of these things. Defund the police is a fine slogan, but also, who cares about the fucking slogan? Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? It's about the policy. It's about moving for a good political agenda. Crying and whining and whinging about slogans like a reactionary dumb fuck. It's a distraction to prevent you from wanting to engage in actual policy discussion. So in my opinion, again, anyone that cries about the term defund the police, dumb as a motherfucker. Anyone that cries about the term prison abolition, dumb as a motherfucker. And again, it's just branding. Like, they want to brand themselves as like, oh, we're not loony left. Because for whatever reason, they've got this position in their minds that it's like, oh, we can't be perceived as too far left. What? Like, that's just an inherently conservative thing. Like, to me, I consider myself magnetically attached to whatever the furthest left position is on anything, right? If someone claims to be to the left of me, I will look at what they say and I will either agree with them or, really, it just depends. Like, I don't think anyone could possibly say that they're to the left of me. But a lot of people love to weaponize the branding of being far left, like the Jimmy Dore people. And, like, it's easier to just ignore them instead of basing your political identity around making sure people don't think you're like that. It's an inherently conservative thing in your brain. Hello, Four Leaf. The polls say it's a bad slogan. I don't give a fuck about the polls. Like, I don't give a fuck about the polls. Who cares? Whoa, shock. Most Americans are fucking stupid. Whoa, holy shit. Like, politics is about changing people's minds. Politics is not like, oh, do you agree with me? Oh, you don't? All right, well, I guess I shouldn't. Oh, do you want to defund the police? No. Well, I guess we're not going to do it now. You're right. Police should kill more black people. Police should just murder indiscriminately disabled people. I guess, right? You don't want to like, the idea that people are going to base their opinion on what the majority of uninformed, uneducated, stupid, dumpster sludge Americans think, to me, I mean, it's inherently conservative. It's a defeatist mentality. I think it's fucking stupid. Now, again, you can, if you're talking to someone who's like an apolitical person and you're having a one-on-one conversation and you want to take a certain perspective over, that's fine. But the idea that we should tailor justice to, like, what a bunch of stupid racist bigots think, I mean, I'm sorry, but I just disagree. Like, I don't give a fuck what the average American thinks. The average American is fucking stupid. The average American is fucking dumb. The average American is an uneducated slimeball bigot fucking freak. I don't give a fuck what they have to say. Anyone that likes cops is a fucking moron. Anyone that likes cops in any capacity is a stupid fucking idiot. Then Donald James, I think you're equally dumb, and you're living your life with the ghost of conservatism in your brain. And I think in the same way that people need to kill the God in their head, they need to kill the cop in their head, they need to kill the Republican in their head. And when you are reacting, oh, what is the right wing going to think about me? Is the right wing going to think I'm loony left? Whoa, I gotta tailor my brand to what right-wingers might think. Like, I'm sorry. Nope. Not gonna catch me doing that. Why? Because I'm a leftist. Why? Because I actually give a fuck. Like, to me, politics is not a brand. It's not like, oh, what will right-wingers think of me? I don't give a fuck what right-wingers think of me. They're fucking stupid. I don't give a fuck what conservatives think of me. They're fucking stupid. Anyone that changes their politics or changes what they advocate for based on how Republicans might view them, I'm sorry. Go fuck yourself with that. And I honestly do think that the defund the police reaction, like how you react to the slogan defund the police, in my opinion, is as close to an IQ test as we could possibly get. I think it is more indicative of your intelligence level than the IQ test itself. In my opinion, I think the IQ test is really problematic. I think a true intelligence test, how do you react to the slogan defund the police? If you're like, oh, that seems too far loony left, I think you're a fucking moron. I really do. Police reform fucking doesn't mean anything. What is police reform? That's some liberal ass fucking garbage, because liberals are going to be like, oh, look, we ban chokeholds. Boom, police reform. Police reform is unspecific. Defund is a specific policy agenda. Defund, reallocate the money to other programs. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I will tell, if someone is like, oh, I don't like the sound of defund the police, I will tell them what that means, and if they still don't like it, they're a fucking lost cause. I'll move on to the next person. They're a fucking shit for brains Trumper. They're a fucking shit for brains moron. Fuck them. I don't care. I'll either try to change people's minds, or if I see it's not working, I'll move on to the next person. It's like canvassing. When you're doing political canvassing, right, you're not supposed to argue with people, right? If you knock on the door and say, hey, you want to vote for Bernie Sanders, and someone says, I hate socialism, you don't sit there and argue with them for 30 minutes. It's a lost fucking cause. You let them slam the door in your face, you laugh a little bit, and you move on to the next house. That's my opinion on politics. If someone answers the door and says, I don't like defund the police, right? Like, all right, see you, bye-bye. Go to the next door, ask someone else. You know what I mean? I disown family members who are the police. I have cops in my fucking family. I fucking hate them. I fucking hate them. I've told them I hate them. I think they're garbage. We are not on good terms. In fact, I shouldn't even say that. But anyway, cooking with the bitch, by the way, folks. Getting a little bit too pissed off. Cooking with the bitch. Everyone, have a great day. I will see y'all later. Maybe we'll discuss this again tomorrow. Have a great day, y'all. Bye-bye!
I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ. Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Can you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree.
That was a shit fuck, cringe tour, etc., etc.